Hello, hello. She's there.
Hi.
Welcome. You're seeing your regular crew with one addition. Gary Agate. Welcome here, Gary. Gary's not usually sitting in the middle of us, but we're back. We're back from Messiah. We were there I was there last week. So the show's not back. The show was on with Rob and Ida last week, and Selah wanted to come in early and go at it. We're going to put her down, say hello to everybody, and get out of here. See you later.
See you, pup.
Okay, here. I got you ducked today.
Last week I handed her one treat, and I thought I had given her that one. The second, just a fast, medium, and slow treat. And I gave her the fast treat, and I thought I gave her the medium treat. She did not give up till she got it. She kept coming back.
She knows what she's looking for.
She knew.
So we have something. We're going to do a little change up. The title that we originally published, we'll change it here, so you'll get to see a more legitimate title when you actually are looking at this. But for those of you who are live, we are not going to talk so much about employment with disabilities tonight. We have Gary with us, and Gary's got a pretty exciting story, so that'll be something fun. Gary Agate's from our sister organization, one of the organizations that you hear us promote here fairly often, PitCare. He's got the PitCare shirt on.
Better than his shirt.
And that's right.
And I
had to dress formally for the PitCare PitCare event,
Welcoming
and
our
I wanted to match Ida too. So we're in the black and white stripes.
Is that what you
side.
did? I'm going to have to do better.
But we are thrilled. We are thrilled you're here. What we're going to talk about is actually this guy right here is going to walk to Florida.
That's the plan.
So we're gonna. So we want to talk about Gary. Gary, let's try to work through this a little bit. Would you?
Yeah,
Would
sure.
you do with us?
Yeah.
So you're walking from where? I mean, this could be watched from anywhere in the world. So.
Yeah, so I'm leaving from right here in town, Pittsburgh, exclusively PitCare, and I live 5 minutes from here.
So we're on the east side of Pittsburgh.
East side of Pittsburgh. Yep, I'm gonna head to where there happens to be a bike trail. It's called the Gap Trail, Canal Trail. It heads from Pittsburgh all the way to Washington, D.C., and it's 310 miles.
So that's where you're going to start?
I'm going to start here. I'm going to walk all the way up and catch the bike trail. It's 22 miles. I'll sleep my first night in near West Newton, and from that point, the plan is to walk 20 to 25 miles a day, camping on the way till I get to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So anybody want to go with them? Anybody planning to take the walk right along? So we just did a presentation a little bit ago for some kids, and Gary was talking, and we were filming it, and at the end there was this one girl, and I don't know, she asked like 4 or 5 times, "Wait, are you really gonna do this?
Really?
Are you really gonna? This isn't like a skit or a joke. Like you're actually gonna walk there?" And the answer is
yes.
You're actually going to walk there.
I'm leaving.
So Gary, I don't understand actually.
Okay.
It never crossed my mind to walk to Florida.
Yeah.
So get me into that a little bit. What caused you to?
Well, it crossed my mind about a year ago. I just started thinking about it. You know, we had a fellow, Bob Allums, up here a few months ago, and he does a little series. He talks about life looking like a football game, 4 quarters, and he said, "Hey, let's face it, we're in the 4th quarter. You know, 20, 40, 60 to 80 is your 4th quarter, and I'm going to be 68 here in the next week." So I said, I'm not only in the 4th quarter, I'm sort of heading to the red zone, and I'd like to sort of make a statement about my life. I'd like to do something that just, I don't really want to fade on out of here. You know, I'd like to go out sort of with a blast, or have said I've done something just personally for myself. So I thought about this idea of walking, and that's kind of where it went. And I felt like I want to finish strong this race we're in, this life we're running. So then we put a purpose to it, and then now it's here you are, here I am.
Okay, well, we'll get to the purpose in just a second.
Yeah.
But so I think you told me that there was some biblical inspiration for this. So was there something you were reading or something you were thinking about that?
Yeah, actually, my whole life in the last 10 years, my wife and I was kind of a track that we're on. We lived right near Cal up here in a brand new townhouse, and we decided to sell the townhouse. And long story short, we moved into PitCare, and 5 minutes away. It was like, just a change of life. We had 7 children, married and out of the house, and here we were living alone. And I said, I'm getting a little bored. Kids are around. Let's go to a place where there's kids. And someone's challenged us to say, move in somewhere. That's kind of what Jesus did. He just invaded planet Earth, and he moved in amongst us and set up shop. And you know the story. And now this is my story.
That's pretty. One of the things that's cool, I think, about your faith, Gary, is that it's a very pragmatic, like sort of, you move in, you move into a spot just like Jesus did. You walk, and strong, you're going to walk to Florida. By the way, how far is it to Florida?
Yeah. Well, if you Google Pittsburgh to Orlando, which is my destination, it'll tell you 965 miles, and it's not as the crow flies, but it's down 95, and it's as straight as the interstates will take you. I'm not allowed to walk on interstates; it's against the law. So I've got to go to Plan B, and so I went up to AAA, and I said, "Hey, I like the triptych," and she looked at me like I was like nuts, I said, "But I want to walk," and that's when I said, "You're not serious." I said, "Yeah, keep me off the interstate." So young girl, proceeded to put me on all these paths, and I said, that's where I want to go, down to Uniontown and up over the mountains. And I thought, well, that's where I'll go. So my wife and I were going to Florida, so we decided to drive the thing, so I actually know what I'm doing. And to my surprise, I wasn't really sure, but I'm up to 5,000-foot elevations through the Blue Ridge Mountains, Smoky Mountains, stretches of 100 miles where there was nothing, and I need a place to eat and things like that. So I said, let's turn left, and we heard about the East Coast Greenway Trail, which runs from Maine to Key West, and it runs along the coast. So I said, my wife said, you have to go that way. You have to go that route. So we changed up plans. I've been Googling maps and things. The only problem, that puts it about 300 or 400 miles longer.
Oh, my.
So to go flat and to go,
wow.
Though I am going to be hitting down by the Outer Banks, Hilton Head, meet some friends, stop at the beach a little bit, make a little fun out of it.
Wow.
So that did change it up a little bit. However, I found ways to shave some of the trail they make is scenic. So they may take a 70-mile loop around the beach and everything. That's not me. I'm going to take that road and cut those corners.
Straighter. So you'll get to see plenty of beach. So you're walking from here to Washington, D.C., and the Allegheny Mountains. Is it the Allegheny Mountains in between here, or the Shenandoah Mountains? I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, I think so. It's Shenandoah.
So you're going to go. So you're going to.
I will not, because I'll be on the bike trail, and the bike trail is a riverbed. It's a railroad bed. So it follows the Yawk River until it hits the Great Divide, and then it's still flat because that's the way the trains always went. They always followed the rivers, so it's flat pretty much the whole way. And then on to D.C., they had a canal built 180 miles long back in the day, and barges were pulled up there by mules on both sides. That's how they transported things. So that's been closed up. So now they call it the Canal Trail. So it's still flat.
And then once you're in Washington, D.C., what will happen from there?
Well, Jeff and Dawn Owen have a daughter that lives there, so I'm going to sleep a couple nights.
In a real bed.
In a real bed after being in my hammock, which I demonstrated for the kids tonight, if kids are still. They thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
So then my friend Jeff Owen, in his retirement days, he's moving into that. He bought an old used RV. He's going to meet me in D.C., and he's going to pace me every 20, 25 miles. I'll be sleeping in his RV, showering, living the dream. And they've come up with this idea, let's just ask churches to let us park in your parking lot so we don't have to pay for a campground every night. And then we'll use that as a means of a little bit of fundraising and awareness of what we're doing.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So why are you doing this? I heard your personal reason. Yeah. But what's the benefit, or what's the cause that's
well, the overarching reason is, being in PitCare for 9 years, it's a great place to live. We've settled in there. We started this organization. We're a 501c3, and we run a food pantry. We run a food bank. I have a bike ministry. I've handed out probably a couple hundred bicycles in the last couple of years. Churches donate them to me. I fix them up. We send them down the road. So I'm interacting with kids all the time. And, kids in Pitcairn, like a lot of urban areas, have a tough environment a lot of times. Most of the kids that come to my house, I have one parent, and the parents are struggling to move forward. So I'm going to be an agent of help for those parents to help them out. So I want to be able to make a statement to the kids: hey, you can do anything you want to if you set your mind to it. I'm going to walk 1,000 miles and I'm going to prove that I can do this, get through the adversity, the pain of it all, and I'm going to make this happen. And if someone tells you can't do something, you're going to say, hey, I knew Mr. Gary. He walked to Florida. I can do this. So
Their
pretty
eyes
simple.
lit up tonight when you said that. They were really, they had lots of good questions, and they were excited for you. And
That's a good message for all of
Yeah,
us.
it
I guess that's a
really is.
message that you're going to bring along the way too to anybody you're talking to.
Yeah.
That, you know, hey, I'm doing this. This is something that's a big hurdle. Hurdles are part of life.
Right.
And yeah, move through. Do you have an official role with PitCare? Or?
I'm actually the chairman of the board. I'm president of the board, I guess. Yep.
And so, how does this help PitCare? How will this?
Well, our biggest thing that we're involved with right now is the PitCare and Kim Parsons Community Library and Event Center, and it's going to be up and running September 1st. That's our goal, and we have 30,000 books. That there's a group of 8 ladies that have been there for months, cataloging them, put them in the computer. It's going to be really a state-of-the-art library. We are bringing in staff to run this. We're going to have education for teens, computer centers, labs in the afternoons. Like I said, fully staffed to help the kids. But all that costs money. So I said, why don't I just throw it out there? And along the way, we have some young ladies are helping us through the social media thing, which these guys know about and I don't. So I said, I'll do the walk, I'll do the work, and you guys do whatever you want with it. And so since this thing is, we had a newsletter sent out a couple weeks ago. I mean, there's thousands of dollars have already come in. And the youngsters have set a goal of $200,000, which, you know, whatever it is, I don't know. That sounds awful lofty to me, but, you know, they want to contact Mickey Mouse and have him meet me at the gate in Orlando when I arrive.
that's
So
awesome.
who knows?
Mary
I don't
Lou's
know.
asking, are you going to take your guitar with you?
Oh, yeah. It'll be in Jeff's RV. I won't carry it from the Pittsburgh, D.C. trip, but when I get in there, I'll be able to, you know, drum up some entertainment a little bit on the way. I mean, You Are My Sunshine, obviously, world famous song.
Yeah.
We'll do that all the way down.
Al Coons was asking you, why not bike?
Well, you know, I thought about that. But I hate to say it, it's pretty easy. You know, it really was
Easy?
not
1,000
not-
miles of biking?
Yeah, I mean,
It
a lot of
doesn't
people,
sound easy to
a lot
me.
of people are doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, and there's a lot of people that are walking. If you Google coast to coast walks, you know, you'll find a ton of people. There's a guy. It was just on the news today. Someone sent me. He left South Carolina in March. He's heading to the Grand Canyon. He came to know Christ, and he's so appreciative of this new life he is. He's carrying the cross, like the
my.
pictures we've seen. He's carrying a cross, dragging it all the way to the Grand Canyon.
That's amazing.
Now, I feel like this is a little bit cakewalk. I'm going along the beach on the flat level. So, yeah, everybody has their own journey they're on, their own path. And this is something I feel the Lord's laid on my heart. And I studied the book of Acts recently and noticed how the Apostle Paul was walking everywhere and everybody back then. So I was Googling it. The Apostle Paul, after he came on the Damascus Road meeting Christ, they say he looks like he walked like 15,000 miles in the course of a couple of years. So, you know, walking is not as big a deal as we make it out to be. Now that I've been walking, if I need to go to the bank or something, I walk up to Miracle Mile Shopping Center, you know, 3 or 4 miles away. I'm running into people that work in Monroeville, don't have a car. They walk back and forth from PitCare, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, there's certain parts of the country where walking is a normal part of life.
Yeah.
It's a way that you get around, and sometimes we take that for granted. We forget.
Yeah.
So
Well, Samantha says it sounds like an awesome ministry, and I agree. It's pretty awesome.
So Gary, let's wrap up here. So if people wanted to support you, how would they do that? Or so toward this $200,000 you're trying to do?
So you just go on pitcare.org, and there's a whole thing on there about Mr. Gary's walk.
So that's PITCARE, PitCare.
Yep, pitcare.org. Yep, the story's on there. And
Mr. Gary's walk.
Mr. Gary's walk.
That's pretty good.
I think you can text to give and all kinds of.
That definitely has hashtag written all over it. You know about hashtags.
I've heard that line, but
Hashtag
I'm just going to
Mr.
stick
Gary's
to walking.
Yeah, you do the walk and we'll do the hashtagging. So what's that PitCare?
I just put up the link to the website in the comments so people know about PitCare, so they know where to go look.
Great. Well, Gary, just close us out if you would with what is your message for our folks. You know, we have a lot of people watching who are in times of life that are struggles. You know, everybody goes through those times, and
sure.
so what would you say to folks who are working? What's your walk have to do with that?
Well, the little video clip you showed before I came on here, Rob Olszewski, and you know what he said. It took hard work to get him from the point where the doctor's saying he'll never speak or walk. You know, and he chose to fight. He chose to be against that and say, "I can do this." You know. So that really is a sort of a simplistic thing, although it's very difficult. So the message is, you know, hard work pays off. You know, for kids especially that are, you know, maybe starting out on a little behind the scenes or whatever, or with whatever they're doing. Just go for it. You know, some of my family members think I'm crazy. My wife thought I was crazy when I first told her to. I said, I don't know, just Google it and let me know if anyone's doing it. In 2 minutes, she found a guy 2 years ago, 86 years old. He wanted to meet his brother for Christmas Eve. He left New York, walked 1,100 miles in 3 months, and showed up at his brother's house in Florida on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
I said, if an 86-year-old guy can do this, you know, I can do this. And, yeah.
Did we say when you leave?
Labor Day, which is 4 months from tomorrow, is May 2nd. I'm leaving September 2nd. 4 months.
And so then you think it'll be about 3 months, but you don't really know.
I don't know. I don't know how this old body's going to react, but I'm going for it.
Great. Well, we wish you the best, and we'll be praying for you. And maybe folks will see this video, and it'll be some inspiration for them, either in your own life, or if you want to support the ministry of PitCare, we'd love for you to do that. So, Gary, thanks for coming. You're welcome to stay. We're gonna just talk a little bit longer, but what we are going to do is we are going to say goodbye to our YouTube friends, and no, we're not. No, we're not. We got a little work to do before we do that. So sorry about that. YouTube friends, don't go anywhere yet. I want to show you Ida's saying of the week. Every week, Ida has she publishes sayings on the internet. You can see them on our social media sites, and this is the one that we chose for this week. So Ida, here's.
Okay, this one, saying. I always give an explanation of why I chose it. And this one, because this week has May 4th in it, and it's May the 4th be with you, I thought about power. And so this is a quote about power. Power does not mean greatness. Greatness lies in the use of any power you have to help, encourage, and foster greatness in others. So May the 4th be with you.
The real power is probably not from a movie, but
it's absolutely not.
But there are places that you can reach for power, and we want to encourage you to do that. Thanks for doing that. Power does not mean greatness. That's that's one of the reasons why I actually ended up doing ministry. Is I was reading the minor prophets of the Bible, and one of the things is that there's messages to power. Basically, they're messages to powerful people, and they're saying you've got to stop. Let me bring our shot up here. You've got to stop exploiting people who are weak. If you're powerful, you need to utilize that for good,
right,
and you need
use that.
and it's power doesn't mean greatness. Greatness is the use of your power to help.
Exactly.
And so that's really good. And it's really meaningful to me because it got me. It's how I got into all this stuff that I'm doing now. So, thanks, Ida.
You're welcome.
Our joke of the day is going to be brought to you by Gary. Now, of course, we put words in people's mouths, so Gary has no idea that he's about to tell a joke.
Usually the person who's giving the joke of the day isn't sitting right beside us, but you've got to know that I don't know where Cal comes up with these jokes of the day, but they're really bad.
Really bad.
So I'm going to apologize to you in advance.
I'm the author of many bad jokes.
Oh, good. Well, then you might think it's hilarious.
All right, so this is...
I hope it is hilarious.
This is Gary's wife, Carol, that he referenced a little bit earlier with Gary. And the question of the day for the joke is, what do you call a guitarist on the move? What do you call a guitarist on the move?
Gary, you know?
He does know because
He's going to tell us. What do you call a guitarist on the move? Oh my!
walk and roll, baby.
Ooh. Cheesy to the max.
See, and it even
Cheesy
but it fits right
It
in
does
with the
fit
theme,
right
right?
Good job.
That's what you're doing, Gary. Walk and roll, man.
Rolling.
Oh, it's not so bad
sweet.
after all.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hello there. So now we are going to take a moment and say goodbye to our friends on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
See you later. There are below. You will see there are links that you can click to, and we're going to continue the show on Facebook. But thanks for stopping by to learn about Gary and see his ministry. We'll see you next time. I'm uniquely the same. You're uniquely the same. Together, we could change the